trot, that means you're hot.
At the end of the race, we will be injecting tryptophan into our veins if anyone's interested.
Let's all sleep together.
If you were out last night at your neighborhood bar and you're hungover, you shouldn't be at the trot.
Respect the trot.
Respect the trot. This is running, okay? This is a trot.
Cornucopia. Backwards trot. That's so advanced. That's insanely advanced.
If it's not turducken, we ain't
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. This is The Drop, midweek. Thanksgiving, baby. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
How about that NBA Cup, eh?
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Cornucopia.
Cornucopia. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Turducken.
Hello to everyone joining us live here on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, if you're thankful for No Dunks, leave us a 5-star rating and review. We got a fun show today. We've got some Thanksgiving-themed NBA questions. Our final pick'em game of the month of November, for the month of November, is a big one. Mm-hmm. It's coming down to two men and who will be eating pie. And we got some rapid fire fun because we are turning this into The Drop. But yes, we have an NBA Cup date. Had some fun games last night in the NBA Cup. Let's start with Alperen Sengun recording a triple-double as the Rockets beat the Wolves 117-111 in overtime to clinch West Group A. The Rockets are moving on to the quarterfinals, and really entertaining game, and get the win in OT test.
Yeah, it didn't start as a big Sengun game. He only had 2 points in the first half, and it was a really close game in the second quarter when the Wolves just started turning it over and over and over. It was a sloppy Joe for them. Mike Conley was missed, as it was like back-to-back-to-back possessions almost that all three guys turned it over, and his toe needs to heal. Mike Conley, hope that toe gets better soon. He's got a sprained toe.
Turf toe.
Yeah, turf toe. So anyways, it turned into a double-digits deficit going into the third quarter, and it continued for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got down 18 points. They were getting booed off their own floor as they went to a timeout, and they needed Rob Dillingham. That kid came in, the 19-year-old, and really did help out. I mean, he hit a three to spark the the comeback, and he missed a couple, and he was a little sloppy, and he turned one over here.
He looked like a 19-year-old in the NBA.
He did. Yeah, coming off that big game
cons.
where he was replacing Mike Conley in terms of the rotation minutes against Boston. That was by far his best game in the last game. This one, he looked so fast and so quick, like he was blown by Fred VanVleet in that third quarter. In the fourth quarter, setting up Rudy Gobert. He was looking fantastic. Jim Peterson on the Wolves broadcast said, he looks like Rod Strickland out there. He reminded him.
A little jittery.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, the New York City point guard type of mentality. But it was so wild in that he was doing his thing. And the Rockets, they missed a ton of shots at the end of the fourth quarter. They went 2 of 14 to end the fourth quarter. So it went into overtime when Sengun, did continue to give it to Rudy Gobert. Now, he'd scored on Rudy Gobert every single one of his buckets. Now, 7 of them were like right at your face type of thing, and a couple of them were pick and roll opportunities. But he hit that hook, and he did the too small on Rudy Gobert after hitting a hook. You don't really see that too often in NBA history. I don't think that's ever been done. I'm going to hit a hook over you.
Like a deep hook, too.
Yeah, and the Timberwolves just went extremely quiet, really missing Mike Conley. I do think his help. And it's been a roller coaster of a season for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but the Houston Rockets just continued to fight. They said, Jalen Green, sit for overtime and sit for most of the fourth quarter. We're going with Amen Thompson, and he helped out a lot, so they got it done.
We have our NBA Cup Cinderella, I believe, in the Houston Rockets. There's some similarities, not how they play, but to the Pacers of last year.
Definitely.
Making the knockout round, going deep, just being a young team, coming off a lottery position, even though they had a decent record in the West, the Rockets did last year. And just to get experience, I think, is huge here, Trey. Again, for some of their young guys, you look at their roster, only 3 of their top 9 guys in the rotation have ever played in playoff games. VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and then Jock Landale a little bit. Everyone else is like under the age of 23 and has generally played for the Rockets, who have been, bad besides last year where they improved a whole lot. So this, I think, is awesome for them to just get into these like high stakes games and sort of get some reps of sort of playoff like games.
Exactly. This was as close as you can get to a playoff feel, I think, with it being the regular season because of the Cup. I mean, you look at literally just the rotations. The Rockets played 9 guys, and that includes Reed Shepherd, who only played 9 minutes. The Wolves played 8 guys, including Rob Dillingham, who I also thought was awesome. Wolves are 0-4 without Conley, but yeah, I thought the veterans really showed up in this game for the Rockets. Like, Dylan Brooks had an awesome game, 22 points, hit 4 threes. Fred VanVleet, 27 points, 11 assists, hit the big 3 off a Dillingham rookie mistake. He made 2 back-to-back, got yanked right at the end of the fourth quarter, but otherwise, he played awesome. It was weird, though, to see the Rockets look like the team that the Timberwolves were last year. 21 stocks last night for the Rockets, just 10 for Minnesota. The Rockets forced 17 turnovers. They looked like the athletic defensive juggernaut sort of team. And that, like you're saying, Skeets, it's not the same as the Pacers. They were offensively tilted.
Yeah.
But the defense that the Rockets bring is kind of next level. They're playing really well. Sengun's blocking dunks at the rim right now. He's improved his rim protection, I think. Winning the Cup, competing for the Cup, would be a real achievement for the Rockets. And look, the Pacers rode that success to a conference finals.
Things broke the right way.
Things broke the right way.
Yeah.
They traded for Siakam. Things definitely changed, but it was a good season for the Pacers, and it started early with playing well in the Cup, and the Rockets are doing the same.
Yeah, for sure. I already like this kid, but I'm falling in love after every game with Amen Thompson. He is so damn fun to watch. The guy is like rocket fuel out there. He is so fast. He had, I thought, maybe the play of the game in regulation where Minnesota is up 2. There's like 45 seconds left, and he just picked Dillingham's pocket and then went coast to coast, like beat everybody the other way, laid it in, that tied it up. And then he hit a corner 3 in overtime, a part of that Rockets like 11-0 run where Sengun was doing a lot of the work, but it did get swung to Amen Thompson in the corner, and he hit it. And this is, that's the one thing he can't do. He can't really shoot threes. I think he's only hit like 5 threes combined all season, but knocked that one down with some confidence. I think he's just so fun to watch.
He is. Yeah, they're lucky that Amen Thompson was able to get that steal with 45 seconds left, because as I said, they finished the fourth quarter 2 of 14. That was one of them, which was a layup. And then Fred hit one shot, but they missed a ton of shots.
Yes, indeed.
And so Jalen Green was sitting on the bench, and Ime Udoka said, Amen Thompson, you're going to play those minutes. And he obviously helps out when he's out there. That's why him and Tari Eason off the bench are called the Terror Twins, because they're so good defensively. You mentioned those stocks numbers. They are tough to play. It's hard not to get excited to watch them because they're this young team, this up-and-coming team as basketball fans, but it's also hard not to think about them in the NBA Cup. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
This is their playoffs. There's no doubt about that. Adam Silver, you did it. We've questioned
Done it again, Adam.
You can't fix the All-Star game, but you got it with this.
You got us playing hard at the end of November. I love it. 6 threes on the season for Amen Thompson.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, man, he only made 8 last season.
Yeah.
Shooting 31% knockdown shooter. There's a reason he closes for Jalen Green. He's not going to take bad shots, and he's going to bring it defensively. He might be the best athlete in the NBA right now.
I think you're right. I can't believe how fast he is. In
He
all
is
honesty,
so fast.
so quick for a guy that's 6'7". Like he's not a tiny little jitterbug that are like usually the fast guys. He's big. He's like Usain Bolt sort of size. I think Usain Bolt was like 6'5", but he is so quick in transition. I guess the other winner of the Rockets winning Group A is the Dallas Mavericks, because the Warriors have moved on as Group C winners. Second place Mavs, they're in pole position here for the West wildcard spot. As long as they can beat Memphis on December 3rd, they're very likely going on because they got a plus 41 point differential thanks to crushing the Pelicans. That was a big part of it. Yeah. I think that was even the game where Jason Kidd was like, took the foot off the gas a little bit. He's like, okay, I know we're supposed to run up the scores here, but like this is embarrassing. They don't even have anybody. So good news for them. Anything else on the Rockets win there against the Wolves? Huge game when it came to our pick'em game.
Yeah, that was a great game. That was a high-level game. Tess touched on it, though. The Wolves are definitely missing Mike Conley. I mentioned 0-4 with him out of the lineup because Anthony Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo, they are not point guards. 43 minutes for Ant last night, 1 assist. 3 turnovers. Dante DiVincenzo, 21 minutes, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Isn't shooting the ball well either. Ant was kind of going crazy, I thought, in fourth quarter and overtime. He went 0-for-8. The shot selection was not great, which is why Dillingham making those plays in the fourth quarter, getting in the lane either for a floater or finding somebody for a lob. They just need somebody who is going to distribute the ball a little bit. So I think Dillingham is showing he should be playing a little bit here while Mike Conley is out, just because it seems like he's happy to get the ball where it needs to go and then take a backseat. I don't know if that's necessarily the case with other guys they might be playing there. My other thing was I wrote down that this was an ecto-cooler court.
Oh, yeah.
But then I was like, that's a 40-year-old reference. So a wicked court?
Well, that's
very green.
Modern.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Wicked, their whole branding is the green with the pink, right?
Yeah,
the two
they do
together.
need the pink on there.
Yeah. But what do you think of it? You like it? The Green Wolves NBA Cup court? No. It's
I thought we're gonna talk about 3 games here for the most part. Brutal courts. Honestly, brutal courts. Victor Solomon cannot cook.
Yeah.
Keep him out of the kitchen tomorrow.
I mean, any of the yellow courts are pretty wild. Yeah. Well, let's move to the Suns crushing the Lakers to create a wide open race in West Group B, and they got some guys back tasks in Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And it turns out when they play, the Suns are really good. They're 9-1 when Durant's in there, and they're 10-2 with Beal in the mix. And, just helps out Booker. And honestly, Nurkic was big in the third quarter there. He started
awesome.
That third quarter, started the second half with I want to say a 10-0 run, and then Booker went on his own 11-0 run, and that blew the game open. But your thoughts here on the Suns?
It really was as simple as Durant and Beal coming back for those guys. Durant has been out 7 games. They've gone 1-6 in those 7 games, and Beal coming back as well. And maybe he's figured out how to get healthy. Because Bradley Beal said, quote, he told their man Doug Hall, he said, if you're negative, your body is not going to heal. It's not going to respond properly. Just taking care of your mind, man. Your mind is very powerful.
Wow.
That's it. Now he's going to be healthy for the rest of his career.
He healed himself with his mind.
I guess so. Those 2 guys just being in the floor and giving each other the breaks on possessions.
Yeah.
Hello. Devin Booker's just going to hit shot after shot after shot because the other guys are getting the attention and because they have a point guard this year in Tyus Jones. So it should be different than what they did against the Minnesota Timberwolves last year in the playoffs. This is as simple as that. But I think Yusuf Nurkic was awesome in that third quarter. He
was.
And the Lakers are desperate for some sort of defensive recipe. I know I get made fun of Gabe Vincent, but even to take it another step further, they're missing Jared Vanderbilt so much. Just that type of mentality to bring some sort of scrappiness.
Any sort of perimeter defense?
Yeah, he's
some
the guy.
Resistance would help.
He's really the guy. That's their problem.
The problem also is that if those guys play, I mean, Vanderbilt hasn't been healthy for 2 years.
No.
It feels
it's a problem,
like.
Yeah.
But Gabe Vincent scored like 30 points in November.
Yeah. He's got.
They don't have 2-way guys.
Yes,
is the problem.
Right.
Jared could be that guy, but
no,
again,
he can't, man. No, he can't.
I know. They've both been injured, that's for sure. And yeah, Jared Vanderbilt, he has to be just like Amen Thompson. He ain't Amen Thompson, but he has to just be a cutter. And he can be that, and an offensive rebounder, and just the guy doesn't need the ball in his hands ever. And I think he can be that guy when he's healthy. I mean, that's the last times we have seen Jared Vanderbilt. It's been a long time. There's no doubt about that. And so he was good once upon a time. Can he be that guy again? But that's what the Lakers are missing. I mean, you can see every team go at Austin Reeves over and over and over again, and they were doing that in this game. And it happens. You need more defenders, and that's a problem.
The Phoenix's big 3, I guess, of KD, Booker, Beal combined for 72 points, 29 of 49 shooting. And they did not take their foot off the gas in the closing minutes of this game. They kept the starters out on the floor. They tried to pad the lead as much as possible because the Suns, and you can put it up here, JD, moved into a 3-way tie with the Lakers and the Spurs atop Group B here in the West. Now, OKC, they've only played 2 games. They're in the mix as well. This is a wide open group is what I'm getting at here, besides the Jazz obviously eliminated. The Lakers and Thunder play Friday. Losers out. That much we know. So whoever loses that game on Friday between OKC and LA, they gone. But this is a fun group here, and it's going to get a little messy. Any thoughts on this group?
Yeah, looks like a good group. We thought this was going to be a good one, and, it has been a good one so far. But, the Suns, if they have their 3 guys healthy, they're very tough to beat. You get 72 points from them, 35 points from the bench. That's probably a perfect recipe for winning. Yeah. They beat the Lakers literally everywhere in this one. They outscored them on the bench. They beat them on the glass. They were better defensively as well. The Lakers have to play awesome offensively because they cannot stop anybody on defense. They're 29th in fast break points allowed and 27th in points in the paint, and they have Anthony Davis, who is an awesome defender. I thought LeBron looked very old in this game. Bradley Beal got him on a chase down.
Oh,
His
man.
dunks are barely getting over the rim right now.
Yeah, that was wild to see Beal doing the chase down block on LeBron. It was like roles reversed there. Yeah, maybe LeBron doesn't want to defend the cup here. Wouldn't mind not taking the trip to Vegas, which would upset all those the NBA and people that sell tickets. They want the Lakers. Well, they got the Warriors maybe moving on, but they would prefer the Lakers to also be in the mix again too, to sell those games on Saturday. Tess.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. We would be seeing, as we go to Las Vegas, lots of people coming from LA, like we have in Summer League at Vegas, for sure. You mentioned the bench there as the Suns beat them. Great sign when those big guys come back, that these guys who have been better than expected in Ryan Dunn as a rook, also Iguodaro has chipped in. This Suns team looks deep all of a sudden.
And they got some reps there with guys missing time.
Yeah,
now
they did plenty.
Yeah.
And we did not expect it after last season. What are they going to do? They're paying their guys up so much money, so top heavy, but they're fine with bringing Grayson Allen off the bench now. They're just so much deeper now because these guys perform. That Dunn and Iguodaro are both surprises this year, but they have been really good.
For sure. All right, let's move to the final game of note, really. Damian Lillard scored 37 as the Giannis-less Bucks held off the Heat to move to 3-0 in East Group B. Now, they did waste a 22-point lead, I guess, there, Trey. That they gave it all back, and it was a tie game to the Heat, but they got it done in the end, 106-103, and Dame was pretty spectacular. 37 points, 12 assists, until the point where Miami was just running 2 or 3 guys at him. Hey, anybody else beat us? And the Milwaukee did enough at the stretch.
Yeah, they got the lead and they blew it right quick. A quick turnaround for sure, but Lillard is obviously comfortable playing in a spread pick and roll system, so they were doing it all night. That's why he finishes with 37 points, 12 assists, and I actually thought Andre Jackson was pretty solid in this game, though he didn't put up a crazy stat line. He finished with 1 assist, which I thought was crazy. I thought he would have like 1 million secondary assists, but I guess the ball was just moving too well for the Bucks last night, because they, like you said, it would either be Lillard would actually use the pick and roll, it would be effective, they would get it to Jackson, he would spray to somebody in the corner, or they would double Lillard and then Jackson would have to make a play. I thought he was pretty solid. I thought AJ Green made some big shots in this one, 2 huge threes in the fourth quarter. The Heat had cut the lead to 1. 3 from AJ Green. Heat cut the lead to 1, 3 from AJ Green. Then he almost had another one that came just a smidge after the shot clock went out.
Close.
If Zach Lowe was still writing, this guy would be a guaranteed Luke Walton All-Star.
Facts.
He's been helpful. Him playing more, Andre Jackson playing more, basically sitting Pat Connaughton down, though he had a pretty solid run, I thought, in this one as well. It's really helped out the Bucks. They're also getting Chris Middleton back in not too long. Apparently he's playing 5-on-5 now. I thought this was a hilarious quote that Eric Name got from Doc Rivers. Doc said about Chris Middleton, "I don't know if it's a step forward or a step that we planned. 3-on-3, 4-on-4. We've been doing 4-on-4 full court for a week. So I don't know what the difference is. We added a guy, so I wouldn't make that big of a deal out of it." He's like, I don't know. I mean, there's another guy out there playing right now. But Middleton will be back in a little bit. The Bucks are 500 again.
Yep.
Turns out playing the guys who can run fast has been helpful for this team.
Yeah, I guess Doc just getting this information from other people is throwing him off. Like somebody said, "Hey, did you hear Giannis is not playing?" He's like, "Oh man, what am I supposed to do?" I think
So bummed.
what am I gonna do? He had no idea. And then Damian Lillard takes the floor and just starts bombing to start this game. It was 1-on-5. It was flashback to Portland days. I don't got to think about anybody on my teammates. And he was fantastic. He had 5 shots in the first quarter, 4 than 3, 6 threes by half, and he started to slow down a little bit. But AJ Green hitting some monstrous shots there.
Especially that second 3. Because the first one was, it was a quick trigger 3 from the corner, but then the second one, after the Heat had cut it to 1 again, was he sort of like got handed a grenade a little bit. I know there was a little bit of time clock, but he had to, he dribbled. It was like, whoa.
Guy all over him.
It was a big shot, and then he nearly had the other one that was just after the shot clock.
Yeah, it was a weird ending there to see Andre Jackson, 40 seconds left on this team. That bad turnover.
That was brutal.
Dude,
there was no hole.
No window.
He saw somebody cutting, and it was like 3 Heat guys in the way.
Doc said, "Pat, you're in."
I'm convinced Doc is taking him off the starting lineup, out of the starting lineup. Andre Jackson, hasn't played as well as Taurean Prince. I'm surprised, but Taurean Prince, I think, is going to be the guy beside Dame, Chris Middleton, Brooke, and Giannis, because he has played extremely well. And even though Andre Jackson, awesome stuff.
Yeah, he does good things and he does very bad things.
He just can't shoot the ball. He had a huge block in this game. But you saw, speaking of blocks, that Brooke Lopez block on Tyler Hero at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
What? The guy doing some great stuff. And the Heat were making this a fun game. But the biggest thing I'm sad about is that Giannis Antetokounmpo ain't going to be celebrating his birthday in Vegas like he did last year. Last year, he got to go to the NBA Cup. It was called the in-season tournament. I can't call it the NBA Cup, I guess. But he went and he celebrated. He didn't party or anything. It was his 29th birthday. He said he just hung out with his basketball team. But this is his 30th birthday. Will not be in Las Vegas because they're pushing this tournament back a week.
Oh,
so it
I was
just
going to say,
doesn't
the Bucks are looking good to make the knockout round. I mean, they have to beat Detroit next Tuesday, and they're through. But
we could have joined them. We could have been hanging with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm just inviting myself.
A little shot of Uzo.
But it ain't happening.
He'll be in Boston for his birthday.
Interesting. He ain't doing nothing.
I think it was Brooke.
He ain't doing nothing.
I think it was
Get him some cannoli.
Brooke Lopez that also challenged that final shot from Hero at the end too, if I remember correctly, because that thing just rimmed in and out. I mean, Hero got a decent look at it, but Brooke was putting his big giant paw out there. But yeah, Milwaukee extended its winning streak to 5 games. They've won 7 of their past 8, and they're back to 500, 9-9. Sitting pretty. Wow. In the Eastern Conference, you're sitting pretty after they started 2-8. And then the other games last night, your Bulls still technically alive to advance.
I think you mean first place in their group.
Well, is that technically true? I'm not sure in the
According
point
to
differential.
the screenshot Tom Poro sent me this morning.
That might be because he's a Bulls fan. I don't know. But yeah, they're still in it, and because they beat the Wizards.
They're first.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Plus
baby.
15.
Yeah, you play
that's
the
true.
Wizards, you're getting some good point differential.
Yeah, 127-108 they beat them. Vucci baby, Kobe White doing his thing. The Wizards have lost 12 straight. I mean, at some point we might start talking about, wow, are they going to beat the Pistons all-time losing streak from last year? I mean, it's too early to really get into that, but they are a bad team. Anyway, Chicago's win means the Bulls, Cavs, and Hawks could potentially still win Group C. It all depends on Friday's 2 games. Celtics in Chicago, Cavs in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Here.
Afternoon
game.
3:30.
2:30.
Oh, it got even earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it might. There's a big. There might be a Georgia Tech game on that Friday, I think, too. So
they're thinking ahead.
Anyway.
Basketball game?
No, football.
Georgia's playing Georgia Tech this late in the season?
It's a rival game, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
2:30. Wow.
Georgia Tech's going to spoil their season, man. Probably not.
Already spoiled it.
And then Wembanyama, Castle led the Spurs to a big win over the Jazz, like we talked about. There are slipped in there that they are still, they're 2-1, decent record. The big news from that was Larry Markkinen being helped off the floor. Bang knees with Wemby. Imagine that bony ass knee from him. I think I have bony knees. Imagine Wemby's knees are like razor blades. But Markkinen went down, so I mean the Jazz have a bad record as it is, and if he misses even more time here, it's not going to help their chances to sort of get back into the mix. Any other thoughts from last night's NBA Cup? You're into it.
Yes.
Except
I'm
for
interested.
the courts.
I mean, it's helped. We know 82 games is too long. But Adam Silver's done a good job at incentivizing November basketball.
Okay, I got an idea. NBA Cup every month.
New cup every month? I love it. Different rules, different courts.
Man.
That's it. Hey, Victor, get to work. We need 100 new courts.
No problem, he says. We've done lines, we've done circles, triangles next.
Okay, let's get
The
in.
Suns look like that's all, folks.
Yeah.
That's what their court looks like.
Little
And the
Looney
Heat looked like they
Tunes.
were literally just playing on the sun.
And
yellow.
then the Bulls. Where was that? In Chicago?
They were
that
in
was
Washington.
That was a
yeah.
red court though too.
Theirs was red. Yep.
I hate the red.
Quite
I
red.
hate the yellow. The snot green, not good.
Yellow's not that bad.
Which one? The yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, the yellow is brutal to watch. I think maybe my least favorite. Just I gotta wear sunglasses to watch it.
Oh, the Celtics.
turn my contrast down?
Greens and blues are way worse.
The Blues are brutal. I guess I'll be seeing. I'm hoping to go to the Hawks game on Friday, and they got the yellow court.
That's a cupper. Yep.
Yeah, that's an NBA Cup game Friday. All right, a few Thanksgiving-themed NBA questions for you guys and everybody in the stream team and everybody listening later. Some of these were such a big hit last year, we had to run them back.
I think this is a third time.
Third time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did some looking at this first question.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah,
well,
for
they're
sure.
Tass, they're that good.
Yeah.
These Thanksgiving-themed questions are that
I
fun.
agree.
It's called tradition.
First one then, Tass, you get us started. Which NBA player is cranberry sauce? What do I mean by that? A player that's reliable like cranberry sauce. Surprisingly still around like cranberry sauce. Squarely meeting expectations like cranberry sauce might do for you on Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Who's the NBA player that's cranberry sauce to you?
I'm going from a different answer that I had the last couple of years, even though they still apply. I got to be honest.
Oh,
they
boy.
still
They're
apply.
still around.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
get to them, but I think Al Horford, I know he's too damn good to be cranberry sauce, but I don't care. He is old. The man is the 7th oldest player in the NBA, but he's playing like, he's top 2 or top 3. It's LeBron and Chris Paul are really good. But Al Horford is with those guys. He's too good to be on this list, I would say. But it seemed like years ago when he was with OKC that this might be the end of Al Horford.
Sure.
Like, this might not be going great. But people don't care about him like they don't care about cranberry sauce. I think aren't mentioning him because he finished those OKC second half where he wasn't playing all that much. And then he goes to Boston, and he's been incredible. He's shooting 45% from 3 this season, which comes off a 42% season from 3, which comes off a 45% season from 3. He is ridiculously good. I mean, after OKC, he got some Defensive Player of the Year votes the first year in Boston. That's how good he is. He's tracking guys like Darius Garland when they play the Cavs 30 feet away from the bucket and able to hang with him and block his ass.
Yep.
This guy, we saw him at the White House, and I was surprised to see that he can move that fast. I'm only a few years older than him. He just inspired me to go get
He
in the
was
gym.
walking fast?
Yeah, well, I mean,
the White House?
I'm just like, there's a 38-year-old man, and he moves ridiculously fast for his speed. I mean, now he was walking pretty slow. But anyway, he missed Monday's game with an illness. I'm like,
Yep.
you?
Oh, it's
You
because
can't
he's
miss
so
a game with
old,
illness.
man. It's probably
Right.
polio.
Yeah, well, that's why
It was cold out that day, right?
Yeah,
He
maybe.
caught a cold. He should have drank more
Yeah.
cider.
Cider was good. Yeah, I was surprised to see that a guy like that is sick. He just doesn't. He shouldn't get sick.
Yeah.
He's so
when you're
healthy.
that beautiful, you shouldn't get sick.
Yes, he
I
doesn't
agree with
party. The guy doesn't party. He drinks chocolate milk. That's all he does. Anyway.
I have Al Horford on my list as well, man. I
I feel-
think he's perfect as cranberry sauce because he is 38 years old,
Yeah.
which you do forget. He still gives you 10, 5, and 3 in like 30 minutes per game when he is out there. And you said it. You already went through all the three-point shooting numbers. I just always want to remind people, we always talk about Brook Lopez. Man, this guy never shot a 3 through the first half of his career. And then look at what he became from distance. The same is true with Al Horford. He hit 20 total threes over his first 8 seasons. And now is hits 2 to 2.5 a game. Shoots a lot of them
he
too.
does hit a lot of
at
them.
really good clips. So, yeah, I think he's the perfect cranberry sauce.
It
Delicious.
is weird though because we call him cranberry sauce, and I think he's getting into the Hall of Fame.
Well,
Does cranberry sauce get into the Hall of Fame?
My mom would put cranberry sauce on the GOAT Thanksgiving item. Some people love cranberry sauce. Not me.
Out of a can?
Yeah.
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 I know.
It's
I
gonna be
like
there.
it. I like it. I don't know if I would love it. I don't know if I'm putting it in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But you're right. I kind of think Horford has made his case.
Yeah, I think he has. He's just lasted all these years. It's a little
Many
bit. We used to say we used to call him into the Hall of Very Good. We put him in the Hall of Very Good. But it's a little
helping
like
his case.
it's a little like Vince, where you just kind of thought it was over at some point of his career, but he just kept going and going and going, and then finally the longevity and obviously winning the title.
Yeah.
As
If he wins
anointed
another
him.
one, what, he'd have 2 from how many did he win in college? 2?
Back-to-back jacks.
Yeah, back-to-back jacks there. He
Yeah.
could do back-to-back in the NBA.
I did want to ask him about being at the White House after winning in Florida. He was the only Boston Celtic to ever be there before. He'd been there twice as a member, as a Gator.
He could have maybe noticed some renovations or stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
They used to not be like this. And you said, well, no, but hold on. You said you do like cranberry sauce. Like you're going to have some
Yeah.
tomorrow. And is a part of it you like to mix it with a little bit of everything? Does it
You got to, mister.
Right. So I think that's perfect for Al Horford. I think he just
mixes in.
He lifts everyone else up a little bit.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay. So who else do you
does.
have on your list as a potential cranberry sauce guy?
I got 2.
Okay.
2 guys, same team. One is homemade, one is jelly in a can. Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
I thought we were all going to have the same answer.
No,
I was
I
a little
mean-
worried on this one, so I'm glad you went Horford mode. But Chris Paul, 10 points, 8 assists per game. Harrison Barnes, 11 points, 5 rebounds per game. Best player in the Western Conference
Damn right.
as we speak. They've got 9 wins in 17 games. It took them 45 games to win 9 games last year. And throw in the fact that Jeremy Sohan went down with injury. Stephon Castle moved into the starting lineup. They're 6-4 since. When you got Wemby, Castle, CP3, and Harrison Barnes on the court in just 106 minutes, not a lot of time, but they're a plus 24 net rating. They've looked awesome. And, this is exactly the point of bringing in vets like Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. Just do your job. Make us look like a normal basketball team. Suddenly they're a top 10 defense, over 500, and these guys aren't putting up like crazy stats. They're like league average players who know where to be and the right thing to do, and it has worked amazingly well for the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't go Harry Bow because I said him literally 2 years ago. He was my pick. And 2022. I checked my notes. And I just didn't want to go to it again. But he is perfect. That's why he's cranberry sauce. He'll be there every freaking year. And I'll do a decent job. But not a great job. But a decent job.
Do his
Work
job.
first,
It's reliable. Exactly. I'll give you one more. And I know he gets overlooked because he's on the worst team in the league. Jonas Valanciunas is still putting up like pretty insane numbers. Again, crappy team, I get it, but he's averaging 11 points per game, 8 boards, and 2 assists in under 20 minutes per game. If you want to do the old per 36 on Valanciunas, the guy's like a 21, 14, and 4. He's like an all-star. Save Jonas Valanciunas. Somebody go save him. You could definitely see him having a role still on a good team that has plans to go deep in the playoffs.
It must be a heartbreaker for that guy.
Yeah, we'll
Because
see,
he
but-
started 2 games. I think it was the first 2 games of the season. And
Right.
then Brian Keefe said, that's enough. And that must be. You come to Washington, you start 2 games, and then you just get pulled. And he didn't do anything wrong.
He's probably doing too much right, maybe.
Just one quick addition here.
Yeah.
Mason Plumlee for the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
It's surprising how good he is. Off the bench, he's obviously no stats, nothing good about that. But he just fills the table perfectly. You other 4 guys do your job. I will rebound. I will box out.
Yeah.
And he's good at it.
Yeah.
He's very good at it. He's helping out. Again, that Phoenix Suns bench it's pretty stacked.
You like cranberry
better.
sauce more than plum sauce?
So plum sauce for everybody else. Some people don't call it plum sauce down here.
What do they call it?
They call it
They might call it a sweet and sour. I guess maybe there's differences,
yeah.
but similar. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, it's interesting. Why would you could dip a
Hell yeah.
chicken finger into a cranberry sauce.
You absolutely could, my
You
man.
should do it this week.
Okay, I'll report back.
Yeah, I think you could dip anything in cranberry sauce. It's like it's sweet, just like
sweet.
It
just
is a
like
sauce.
This. It is a sauce.
All right, next one here. Which player is Brussels sprouts? I'm looking for a polarizing player. Occasionally stinky, but also kind of good. I mean, the point is Brussels sprouts. Some people obviously like them. Some people don't. I mean, roasted Brussels sprouts. Let's go. But TK, you guys started here. Which NBA player is Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, Brussels sprouts for me were a grower. Bad rep when we were kids.
Right.
Up there with broccoli for the worst rep. I blame Bugs Bunny for both of it. I don't know why, but Brussels sprouts can be pretty good. As we
Hell
found out how
yeah.
to cook them. Don't steam them.
Yeah.
Roast them.
Roast them,
We
baby.
want them little crispy cabbages. We love them, don't we? I got 2.
Okay.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Excess.
Yeah.
Fill your plate with these 2 guys from the 21 draft who were drafted right after
Oh,
each other.
God.
Number 1 and number 2.
Oh, my
Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green.
Wow. Same answers.
If you like Cade Cunningham, you're like, whoa, career best, 23.5 points per game. Career best, 8.9 assists per game. He's shooting 36% on 6 attempts from downtown. That's sick.
Solid, man.
If you don't like Cade, he's 6th in the league in shots per game and 20th in the league in scoring. He's scoring 23 points per game on 20 field goal attempts. He leads the league with 4.6 turnovers per game, the most since Russell Westbrook played for the Wizards. He also leads the league in clutch turnovers and has turned the ball over more times than he's made a shot in clutch time. 8 turnovers, 6 makes.
Yeah. Yep.
He doesn't finish inside. 36 players have taken 5 or more restricted area attempts per game. Cade is 35th out of 36, 52.9%.
That's a stat.
Yeah, he gets compared to Luka Doncic because of the way they play. Because he's a big guard who can penetrate. He doesn't have the handle of Luka.
No.
He ain't as strong as Luka, and he cannot finish like Luka. Luka is the best finisher in the league, who's like 6'8" tall. So Cade has been up and down. This is his best season.
Yep.
There are still flaws there. Jalen Green had a lot more trouble finding the good for Jalen Green so far this year. But you could say, look, he's leading the Rockets in scoring, at least when I wrote this yesterday. 18.7 points per game. He's leading in shot attempts, leading in usage. You just paid him a big deal. You're getting a lot out of him, but he's shooting like 38% from the field, 30% from three, basically a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and somehow he's been blocked at the rim 12 times. Guy's one of the best athletes in the league, can jump out of the gym. Just means he's driving into traffic, and there's a lot of guys there. So I haven't been super impressed with Jalen Green this season. I think Cade Cunningham has been better than Jalen Green this season, but they're both Brussels sprouts for me.
Wow. My exact answers. Unbelievable. I had a feeling Jalen Green would be in the mix here for Brussels sprouts. I was wondering if you'd bring up Cade. He's such a polarizing player. It just... People also go to bat for him. You'll probably get hate in the comments. Come on, you're always hating on Cade Cunningham and the Pistons. And there's some truth to it maybe, but then there are other people that are right at times. Man, he has some really bad fourth quarters. He's going to improve. He's obviously still young. He's finally on a decent team and guys around him that are actually competent players. But yeah, polarizing right now for sure.
Absolutely polarizing. I'm going with another polarizing player. I thought maybe he could be from the region that Brussels sprouts came from. I'm looking right now. I'm getting extremely anal here right now, but I'm seeing Brussels capitalized. I'm like, why is Brussels capitalized? Oh. Just where it's from. I suppose just because it's from Belgium, I guess. Anyway.
So you're going Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. No, from a close country. Rudy Gobert from France. He's the classic. He is the classic, but he's still doing it right now. He gets into those spats with teammates. He did it with Julius Randle. They're playing the Timberwolves last week. He was waiting for the ball in the post. Give it to me. Give it to me. Didn't come to him, so he just walked away slowly and got called for an offensive 3-second call because Randle didn't give it to him.
Yep.
Now, Gobert apologized. They made up. And Gobert's he goes both ways. He got into it with Randle, but then he said, quote, "There's too many times when I feel like I let the team down a little bit, whether it's one quarter or a few minutes, and I can't have that if we want to be great as a team. And if we want to be a championship team, every minute that I'm on the floor, I have to be the best in the world at what I do." Man, it's give or take with Rudy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it ain't. And the next game versus the Celtics, Randle made that pass, and they were buddies. And he does good things. I mean, we saw last night, we watched against the Houston Rockets. Sometimes he blocks shots. Sometimes Sengun gives it to him in the face. Sometimes anybody can score on this guy, but he has to keep fighting, especially for this Minnesota Timberwolves team to come back from what they are. I mean, it is an interesting team. Without Cat, they're struggling defensively, and they haven't found their chemistry, and they're 8-9. They're literally outside the playoffs right now for a team that traded away Karl-Anthony Towns. And you could say, obviously, if they don't make it, you just gave away your team. And so it has to come internally from them. They have some games coming up here against the Kings, Clippers, and Lakers at home, which will be interesting. But they've lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Raptors, and they lost to the Celtics.
Can't win in Canada.
Why can't they win in Canada? That's really weird.
I don't know.
That's really weird.
It's one of the weirder stats that they haven't won in 20 years in Canada.
That's unbelievable.
Because I know they haven't been the greatest team of the past 20 years, the Wolves, but nor have the Raptors.
No.
For times, at least. So
yeah,
that's just a strange one. All right. Let's get up from the normal Thanksgiving table, and we're wandering over to the kids' table. Because I have a kids' table question for you that JD is making me say out loud. Guys, which player has the most Skibidi Ohio Rizz? As the kids would say at the kids' table during Thanksgiving. What does it mean? No one's really quite sure.
Don't know.
But Trey, you take a stab at it. Which player has the most Skibidi Ohio Rizz, if that's even a thing?
That's a thing.
Okay.
My 10-year-old just got an Apple Watch. We're in a group chat together.
Cool.
Within a week, the name of our group chat was Skibidi Ohio Rizzalorian Cake. What? She's so mad when I say Riz, and I say it all the time.
Good, as you should.
It's a verb. It's an adjective. Adverb. I'm going to go Riz over
there.
there.
The Riz, I get. Charismatic.
It's a verb.
I understand that part. The Skibidi?
No clue.
Nothing?
No clue, man.
And then Ohio, I thought, was a negative connotation.
Only in Ohio.
So I have to be okay anyway. So, okay, who is the player that has the most Skibidi Ohio Rizz then?
For me, it's LaMelo Ball.
God, you and I are lockstep here, man.
Yeah, he's playing like he's in high school again. Everybody said this is his Chino Hills High School mixtape. He did a sham god step back this week. He's shooting one-footed step backs pretty regularly. He's leading the league in usage. 3-point attempts. He's taken the third most threes of any player ever. I think it's like Harden and Curry are the only guys who have taken more than he is. It feels like Charles Lee has said, look, man, you're a great playmaker. We need you to score a whole bunch of points, especially while they don't really have any big guys now to be catching alley-oops.
Yep.
He's better at finishing this year. I think LaMelo has been, which is kind of been a place where he's needed to grow with his size and strength and actually being able to finish inside. So hopefully he's able to stay healthy because he's fun to watch. Ain't turning into wins. It's weird to kind of see this late in a player's career where they're like, just go out and go insane. Shoot it every time if you want. That happens like year 1 or 2. Usually LaMelo's what, year 4 now? Or is he year 5?
Might be year 5.
He's year 5.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like they're at the very start of the rebuild again.
Yeah.
So I don't love that, but I also do love every LaMelo highlight tape from every game he plays.
Look, I don't know what Skibidi I can't even say it. I don't know what Skibidi Ohio Rizz means, but I know that LaMelo play from the other night is what Skibidi Ohio Rizz
He's got it.
This is it to me. This crazy, like you said, sort of sham god, like wild step back off his patented sort of 1 foot there where he barely jumps. That is Skibidi Ohio Rizz.
That is Skibidi Ohio Rizz.
That is. That's all I know, Tass. So I had LaMelo as well. I love that answer. But do you have anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of takes a skibbity.
Skibidi.
Yeah, he's doing that. Yeah, and he might be carrying the ball. Who knows?
Oh, you imagine that was in Cleveland, that play?
Oh, only not.
And look, Eric Collins going, Skibidi Ohio Rizz from LaMelo! And Del Curry going, what? Hey, other
rename it Skibidi Ohio Rizz. Give it to him. He's good. I got a couple answers. Jason Tatum, I think, is so good at not letting any play stay with him. Like just
Kobe mentality, baby.
Yeah,
Mamba
he's
mentality.
got a little Rizz, you know. He doesn't let anything bother him on the floor. He just moves on to the next possession. You saw George Niang get in his way, and Jason Tatum scored through him, and he said, "That guy, bleep that guy." I mean, he just moves on. He just throws it to the next play. Just moving on to the next play. He's really good at that. And I will say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Guy's just
He's cool as shit.
He's cool, man. He's doing Skims underwear ads.
Skimini.
Yeah. Skibidi Ohio Rizz. Skibidi Canada Rizz. Skibidi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wearing Skims. And you got to be pretty confident to be pulling that off, to go shirtless. And he's like underwear totally revealed. You know, sometimes I don't like when basketball players do that, like the Chandler Parsons. Remember the modeling days of Chandler Parsons?
Who could forget?
They were not ideal. But
Damn.
yeah, well, I mean, he's got way more I would say Shai's got way more confidence because he goes shirtless, pantless. I mean, Chandler was at least covered up a little to some degree.
He's wearing a shirt and underwear?
No, he was wearing.
What?
He was wearing pants. He was wearing pants. You could just see the top of his underwear. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you could see everything.
Oh my God.
You could see everything. He doesn't need to add an additional bulge to it. Like he just goes straight up underwear, right? Others would have to add something. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does not. He just wears his underwear, right? Have you seen it? Have you seen him in Skims?
Yeah,
He
man.
just plays it cool.
Have you seen Donovan Mitchell in Skims?
I have. I have. You know it.
Okay.
You know, in high school.
You know it.
You know it. In high school, you see guys in their wrestling singlets. They got to add a bulge.
Hey, JD?
Shai does not have to add a bulge.
Great question. I'm glad you included that question. Final one here. I want to know, because we are at Thanksgiving and it's a week to be thankful for things, another NBA podcast that you're thankful for. What do you got on your list there, TK?
I'm thankful for the Hoop Collective podcast.
All right.
Brian and the Tims. That's the core three for me. Obviously, they just switch in and out some personnel here and there, but I love listening to those guys. Great chemistry, well plugged in. They've got 3 distinct personalities, which I like, and then I also like the companion podcast, You Know Ball, where they then break down the Hoop Collective podcast and do their own skits and bits in the midst of that. So those are my 2.
Those are great. They're on my list. You Know Ball makes me laugh more than any other NBA podcast, so good stuff from them. What about you? NBA podcast you're thankful for?
The DNVR Nuggets podcast, those guys are extremely solid. They just bring it after a win. They have the Winners Table podcast after a loss. And they're just really insightful and great. Morris, Win, Vote, Superstar Dev. They're always bringing it.
Nice.
Great takes. Some of them go to the stadium, but they keep it real and they're good. And it's just one team, so they don't miss a thing. They know extremely well.
Well, along the same lines, very thankful for Will and Alex and Jerome's Hello and Welcome podcast, which covers the Raptors. Will's Raptors recap shows, like, they're the best. Because, like, I'm obviously a Raptors fan, but especially this year, I'm not watching every single minute of every Raptors game with all the other action going on. But I feel like I don't miss a thing listening to Will, like, break down the game, the pros, the cons, and stuff like that. So shout out to our guy Jerome, of course, helping produce that with Will and Alex. So that one's awesome. And I'd add the NBA Daily. Loving that right now, especially the Slam and Jam on the weekends. Shout out to Schlecht and Spears. Love the NBA Bit, Mike Zakarian. And then, you said the Hoop Collective. And anytime Simmons is talking to Russillo about the NBA, it's absolutely hilarious. So just a few other NBA podcasts that we're thankful for. You let us know what we're missing. Let us know in the stream team or in the comments below. Okay, Tass, 14 games on tonight. And we are tied, at least two of us are, in dead last for our November pick'em. Me and Trey at 7-9, because Esh correctly called the Rockets last night.
That's the spot to be, man.
I'm kicking myself for not taking Houston. I love Houston. Why did I just thought the Wolves needed it more, wanted it more.
I thought so too.
It
was
went
close.
to overtime. It was close, exactly. Could have went either way.
Yeah,
but
the three of us put it in first, and Ash just says, okay, I got to take the other one.
That's been a winning formula, honestly.
No pressure.
So Ash is 8-8. Tass, you're fine, 9-7. But again, Trey and I are tied, 7-9. So whoever loses, if we're on the opposite side here tonight, whoever loses has to eat a 4-pound pie from Costco, pumpkin pie, next week. However long it takes, basically, until you finish that damn pie, whether it be one show or all week. So, Tassa, this is a lot of pressure because you got a lot of games to pick from. Where are we going?
It was an easy one for me
Okay.
to see Golden State hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, we're going to the top of the West, baby. The Warriors get 2.5 points, so
the
they can
Dogs.
lose by 2 or less, or have to, obviously win. If you're the Golden State Warriors, you're focused on the Thunder coming to town, while the Warriors obviously have to win by 3 to cover. Myself and
Thunder
Trey
have to win by 3.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Myself and Trey think OKC will do that.
Okay. This
Well,
was tough.
Yeah, you guys. Why'd you pick the Warriors?
Well, you know
against
what?
The Thunder.
I actually did something different this morning. I was into that doc before TK was this morning. I saw you had made your pick. It didn't really matter. And I was like, I'm going to wait to see where Trey goes. Because I was torn. I could talk myself in either way. I think I was leaning towards OKC, but I wanted to see where Trey went. He went Thunder. Just give me the dubs. So here we go.
That's right.
Good luck to you.
Force someone else's hand. Shady Girl, just Alexander, going to have his season high tonight.
Think so?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they got nobody to guard him.
I don't like to hear that.
Yes, watching them with Hartenstein,
It's
I'm
all right.
gonna be.
Canadian Thanksgiving was a month ago.
yeah, he hates American Thanksgiving.
I do like how you guys are picking different teams, so somebody's losing tonight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. Said and
just
done.
done.
Right.
It's
Done
done.
and dusted, man. Get the pie ready. Did you buy the pie yesterday?
I did not. I'm gonna go buy it today. They
Okay.
should still be full, I'm sure. Everybody buys a Costco pie.
Yeah.
As we said, one of our fans
Well, yeah,
chimed in and said,
everybody
"I
buys
worked there one year and I had to make 1,000 pies." Because people are just buying pies here in America. It's you round it up to 4 pounds, but it's
Yeah,
a
it's like
3.63er. I think everyone weighs 3.63 pounds.
Okay.
So you're putting on some weight next week.
So you're picking it up
Trey
today,
or
though.
Skeets.
Better.
Yeah.
Because it's a popular pie. People
it.
are saying.
Popular pumpkin pie people are preaching.
NBA players will be eating them too, because you said 14 games. They're not playing tomorrow.
Ooh,
They gotta eat
you
pie.
just reminded me.
You gotta eat pie.
Do the
Yeah, I just made that up.
do the Magic
You're
play at home
preaching.
tonight? Because they usually do something on the court after the game around Thanksgiving, where they like give them a turkey and see if the guys like
Turkey leg
rip and
sometimes.
grab
You might
them.
be right.
Yeah,
Ripping and grabbing.
I don't know if they're at home tonight though. Hopefully they are, because there's a lot of games on. 14 games on. So
Orlando is home.
Hey!
Against the Bulls.
Get the turkeys out.
That's right.
Who will take a bite. Okay, before we go, as I said, this is the drop because it's our final show of the week here because of Thanksgiving. So let's end with some rapid fire fun. Tass, you got the questions.
First one, Nikola Jokic continues to marvel with 0.3 seconds left and receiving an inbound pass underneath his own rim. He literally volleyball served that pass. He just bashed it 80 feet and nearly into the net. That was freaking impressive.
It wasn't that far off. You're right.
No, it was great. What's something extraordinary you've done while playing a sport? Skeets.
I've probably shared all three of these things before, but they're really the only three extraordinary things I've ever done when it came to sporting. I once scored 40 points in a high school game during my sophomore year. I once ran a 2:53 marathon, and I've never lost a street race against my friends. Undefeated, and will never race again at this age. I am the Usain Bolt of street racing, at least against my friends.
You gotta show that Skibidi if somebody says, hey, come on, let's race.
Okay, I would race like 9 to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So if that happens at Thanksgiving, I'm like, you want to throw down? Let's go.
I'll beat you.
Yeah, exactly. But those are mine. Yeah.
All right, Trey, what's yours?
I had 2 extraordinary moments playing intramurals in college. I caught a Hail Mary once, like off a bounce. It was honestly the exact same as Washington Commanders. Bounced straight to me. It was awesome. Terrible celebration. I yelled, and it was a, yeah! It was not cool. Not cool at all. Great catch, though. And then, I don't know. I think it was our senior year. We were playing wiffle ball. Heated wiffle ball tournament. Made it to the finals. Best 2 out of 3. We won the first 2. 2 wins on the mound. Home run in both games.
Damn.
Already said he hung a curveball. Still can see it in my sleep.
Oh,
Over the curtain.
wow. What
Said it couldn't
yard?
be done. It was like hitting over the green monster.
Jeez.
And how did I celebrate? Silence.
Learned his lesson.
Hold my finger, not in the bases. Not saying anything this time.
They're like, scream really high pitched, man.
Taking the curveball yard. Great stuff. All right, JD, you got something extraordinary you've done while playing a sport?
I mean, not really. Let's be honest.
But anything.
Pickleball, come on.
All right, well, one night.
that guy in the face?
One night, I didn't kick anybody. I've never kicked anybody in pickleball. I didn't know that was allowed, so now I might add it to my repertoire. I once got an Ernie, an ATP, and a successful shake and bake. You can Google those. I don't want to explain it. But
These are pickle moves?
yeah,
Pickleball moves?
pickleball. Yeah.
Wow.
ATP is around the post.
Oh.
Ernie, you jump over the
Nice.
kitchen, basically spike the ball. And
Oh,
shake
yeah.
and bake, you cross over to your partner's side
yeah.
and spike it down. And,
Oh, this guy, terminology.
Shake and bake.
Skibidi Ohio Rizz to you,
I
good
was
man.
very Ohio that night, I guess. I feel Ohio right now.
Left into the kitchen. Great stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Next one. Scottie Pippen Jr. had a career-high 30-point game in Chicago this week. Making Papa proud. He sure did. What's something you did that made your dad proud? Skeets.
I was named valedictorian for my high school graduation class.
Oh,
That
wow.
made Papa proud. He came to see the speech. It was at the Stratford Festival Theater, which was cool. And then the fun part of this story, though, is I may have shared this before because we've done this show for damn 20 years now.
I don't think so.
I never told you a story that when I was valedictorian,
It's always something new.
my buddy Grish and my buddy Dub, now who I went to high school with, but Dave was 1 year older, so he was already done high school, and then Paul went to he went to Brazil for a year, so like we didn't match up in terms of graduation. Point is, they were gonna come see my valedictorian speech, and they were supposed to, but they missed it because it was the exact same night that the first guy ever won $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And they were like locked in and watching it.
Wow.
And they completely missed my speech. They like showed up right as I was like ending. And I'm like, well, you know, what'd you think or whatever? Like, damn, we missed it. We saw history instead. John Carpenter, man, he called his dad like a badass and used his lifeline, just burned it. Don't need your help, Pops. About to win $1 million.
He made his dad proud.
It was
Yeah,
November
damn right.
19th was the night. Weird. So I was like, in like remembering this story, I'm like, how does this make sense? Why was my valedictorian or why was my graduation ceremony in November?
Yeah, they always
That's how we
are.
used to do it.
Yeah.
How stupid is that? I'm literally have graduated in what, May or June,
Yeah.
and then come back. We all come back in November, and I say, hey, reach for the stars. The future is promising. Oh, not you that works in the factory all summer long. Your future's screwed. You ain't ever going to get out of this town. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, I had to go back in November too, and I literally had nothing going on, like, because I didn't go to university straight out of high school. So
yeah, same here.
It was just like, hey, this guy's going into pharmacy, and this guy's going into education, and I just wrote down Fandango dancing on the thing, so they announced that I was getting into Fandango dancing. My dad was real proud that night. I'll tell you.
Proud papa.
Wow, great stuff. And no, they don't do that here in the U.S., do they?
No.
It's like a September thing, the graduation.
No,
later.
It's
Right
the
after
end,
It's like right after.
May or June.
Oh,
right before
I find
Memorial
it's so
Day.
weird we did that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I joked about, yeah, you were in the factory. I was working in a factory that summer to make money. Yeah, exactly. And here I am telling everyone, oh, the future is going to be amazing. We are the future. Oh, man. Weird.
All right, Trey, something you did that made your dad proud.
My dad retired last year. Flew home. I actually just mentioned it talking about the Scottie Pippen Jr. game because we went and saw a game, but they had a big ceremony for him. All of his people from work, all of our family was there. I gave a nice speech at the end.
Nice.
They all talked about him. I came up and I just killed. I honestly killed for like 3 minutes straight. Hilarious, off the top of the dome. I'm freelancing, like they've got a slideshow of these pictures coming up with him. They get cut to one and he's standing like Captain Morgan next to a cruise ship, like timed up perfectly with what I was saying. People were amazed. They're like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, "I do this every day, every day, just off the top of the head."
Different.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun seeing your dad retire.
All right.
Love that guy. I'll see him Friday.
Oh, Steve's
yeah.
coming down.
Big Steve-o.
Nice.
JD, you got anything to add? Or your inclusion was great right there.
I mean, yeah, my dad, we had a show on national television for 6 years. Didn't say much about that, but I visited the White House last week, and he messaged me. He was like, "Hey, White House, hey!" I'm like, "Yeah, pretty cool." So I guess
popped
it was
for that,
cool.
did he?
Yeah.
You did it!
I made it, Dad.
All right, last one here. Cleveland's Jared Allen is a unique guy, truly. One of a kind. Among the incredible things he told the Old Man and the 3 podcast was that he was happy he told the media the lights were brighter than expected after losing in the playoffs, because he was thrilled that he became a meme out of it. He loved it.
That's awesome.
It was a great interview. What is one of your favorite memes, Skeets?
Yeah, I think with this question, you can live in the moment, right? Get caught up in a current meme.
Yeah.
But I want to remember the OGs and some of the classics. And it still hits for me. Condescending Wonka. It's just a funny meme to me. I just love it. I love the movie as a kid. And it's just like, it's had a couple iterations, I feel like, this Wonka photo, where, it very sarcastic, right? Like, tell me more about that when you really don't care, maybe. So, Condescending Wonka.
A classic.
Yeah.
This is when memes would last.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you could use that for years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, memes now, they're like here and gone in like a week.
Exactly
These
right.
were years worth of memes. Yeah.
I was looking through my memes folder on my phone, of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't talk about Doc Rivers memes from last year. People will laugh at me.
It's too old, yeah.
Yeah, you want old ones? I went even deeper. Ones that people have never seen before. These are some of my favorites from my memes folder. 3D, Dennis Scott, our former colleague at NBA TV, checking his phone while other things are happening. I don't know what this was.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's funny. How about this one of our former colleague Dennis Scott 3D falling asleep? Or is he?
Yes.
Hey, I was sleeping, now I'm awake.
One of my favorite lines. I was asleep, but now I'm awake.
I think we should start using that if somebody's like, don't sleep on Franz Wagner.
Hey, I was asleep, now I'm awake.
And then another one I like, 3D just saying nice.
Nice. What nice? Nice.
Hey, he's got some 3D videos on my phone. Why not?
He's a very memeable guy.
Totally.
Like his look and his voice, and that's a weird answer because these are like personal starters,
memes.
no dunks.
That's what I
memes.
bring to a group chat is like internal memes, man.
Internal memes.
Somebody's got to do it.
You're gonna show your 10-year-old in the group. Does she think she'll care about Dennis Scott memes? I don't know. Maybe it'll work.
She would. I think she would remember him because of see those grill marks.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, there's that one. What's the other one where he hears like the wolves wolves howling in hoop camp with Bones?
Yeah,
Or he started sleeping
Gets
again.
scared.
Yeah, a lot of Dennis
yeah.
Scott falling asleep memes out there.
I had a hoop camp, and where he would get scared. Like,
He'd be looking around.
Yeah, hear the wolves. It's a great actor.
Players Only Baby, remember that?
Which one?
Players Only Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Just streaming
Classic.
at the end of every Players Only broadcast. Players Only Baby.
that was part of his interview.
Oh, yeah, we did. We definitely did.
Players only, baby.
Love 3D, man.
All right, JD, take us home.
I mean, yeah, it's really, really hard to pick a favorite. I didn't want to be stuck in the moment. This lasted for maybe a month, but it was the guys from Ghana, the pallbearers. So the guy would be talking back to his wife, and then it would just like, cut to this. I'm not going to play the music, but the music is integral, but I don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah.
But it's just these Ghanaian, is that how you'd say? The pallbearers, and this is how I want to go. Let's be honest.
Doubt.
Yeah. Just 6 guys doing a choreographed.
Us 3 high-fiving over your casket.
Now, would I love to see a naked body fall out of the bottom of that coffin? Yes, I would. Okay?
100%.
I subscribe to Coffin
100%.
Flopper, Corn Cob TV. That one's awesome.
The bouncing legs.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's what is a meme
incredible.
these days,
what is a meme?
I'm very much into the subtle foreshadowing going on where, they'll cut in. Have you seen these where Mentos in the Pepsi bottle and then they cut, they go, they just flash what's going to happen. It gets me every time. So anyway, memes. It's my love language to my children. All we do is pass memes around. So
Yeah.
it's great.
How do you feel about the suspect meme that's making the rounds? Where you the person's running beside you and then you say the suspect and then basically say like a diss basically, I guess, or something funny about them.
Right.
At first I hated it and then now it's grown on me. I don't know. I guess it all depends on what you actually say to the person and how they react to it.
Yeah.
I saw a very funny one of just like a group of women. And it was basically the suspect, here's their worst dating moment, and it was very funny.
Yeah, I saw the TNT guys, Inside the NBA guys did it, and some of them were pretty funny. Yeah, so I've come around on that one. So let's hear your favorite memes. Is it a classic? Is it a new one? You let us know. That's rapid fire, not so rapid, but not too bad this week. That's the drop, hopefully a classic. If you are thankful for No Dunks, hit the like button, subscribe, share the show. Podcast listeners, a 5-star rating and review would be really helpful in terms of rankings, help other people find the show. I told you about this yesterday, but I'll remind you once again, the Basketball 100, this book is available. That we had a weird thing going on with the link in the show notes yesterday. It went to some I don't know, some sort of sexy looking book instead of the Basketball 100. Yeah, the link changed. I don't know what happened.
Cool.
It was called did you click on it, Jay? I was called White Hot Sexy or something.
Okay.
Dark
Now
Matter?
I wish I had clicked on it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe buy
not?
that and buy the Basketball 100. David Aldridge, John Hollinger, the athletic staff, breaking down the 100 greatest players of all time. It's a really good, chunky book, and I think it'll make a great gift for the holiday season. So that link, correct link, is in the show notes if you want to go grab that. All right. We will see you guys on Monday doing an NBA weekend winners and losers pod. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody here. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys watching us live or listening and watching a little bit later. Everybody have a great couple days off if you're here in America, of course. Canada, sorry. It's Thursday and Friday for you.
Have a great Thursday, suckers.
Yeah. But otherwise, we'll see you here on Monday. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. And remember, have some great sauce this weekend.
Brace the weekend, people.